So back to where it all started. My name is Kogot Peter, LUO Ambassador, East and Central Africa, and I'm here in the magical city of Tororo, the home of the Padola. Nyinga Kogot Peter, Anje LUO Kenya to anka kod.
Nyinga ni luongo ni Thomas Okoth Nyalulu. Abedo japadola mawuok Nono Loli. Achiel kuom noni ni 56 makwanere kuom Padola. Ani abedo nyathi anyuola mathurni mochotimo gik piny mopogore opogore manyopa ma ayuomere munyacho tich mopogore opogore kiri gi government. To nyofuda kiyuomere itimo gik piny man mamedo dongo Padola gimedo wuodho gik piny mopogore opogore mako kuom Padola greo gi Uganda gi pi. Abedo achiel kuom jomich rieko ri kere mawani kwara adhola. To doko abedo wuon komi ma pajumutegno Elders Forum ma Padola. Abedo wuon komere. Onyo wamedere timo tich mamako kuom Padola. Odok wamedere timo tich mamako kuom Uganda. To nyo bende iwach mamako kuom kula ma Padola gi kula manoni mopogore opogore. Bende abedo wuon komi ma kitipa matiyo kuongi ngir wachno iluongo ni Cross Cultural Foundation ma Uganda. Mena bedo chairman mere ma board Pama. So abedo for swanwango ni jaduong Ogot ginya wote jobino ni waliesa gi jowach mamako kuom Padola. Gingir paka wanyalo riyo jopadola jong'ei ni jonigi wade mopogore opogore inoni ni mopogore opogore ma waluongo ni LUO. Meno agima duong' ma wantie kono nakwaya ni wawinj maber gi wawuok gi gima lafuonjo nyithindo mawa ni chil gi chil. Yes.
Afoyo matek, intie maber?
Antie maber.
Afoyo.
Kome wawach ni anitie maber. Win wawach ni wentie maber.
Intie maber.
Antie maber, yes. Yeah.
What is Padola?
Padola is the geographical area where the Padola as a people are found. And basically this is in Tororo district. Yes, of eastern Uganda.
So how did the people come with the name Padola?
That's a good question. Now, historically, we belong to an ancestor known as Padola. Padola, according to legendary, came from South Sudan with a number of his maybe brothers, relatives, but specifically with a brother known as Owin. They followed the Nile. They first settled somewhere in Busoga. Then they continued until they came to this area now we call Tororo. Because we have a short time, I can't go into so much detail. Now, when they came here, it is said that Padola had a wound, an ulcer, which in Padola we call Adola. Now, because of the ulcer, it could not continue the journey. But also, legend, history has it that his wife was expecting and was very heavy by the time they reached Tororo. Therefore, for these two reasons, he could not follow his brother. Their intention was to follow and continue looking for, they were fisher people earlier, looking for where maybe they can get more fish, where they can also continue looking after cattle and so forth. So his brother now tells him that you and your team, you can remain here For us, let us continue. When you get better, and when the wife produces a kid, then you can follow us and you shall have cleared the way for you. But as they remained here, they seem to have found the place comfortable, the place fertile. So finally they decided to settle all together here.
Yeah. Oh.
So the people he came with then, and the people finally that were produced after that, are the people referred to as Padola. Padola meaning the people of Padola. The sons and daughters of Padola.
Yeah. Now, there's a brother you mentioned called Owiny.
Yes.
Where did Owiny and his people go to? Where are they currently?
Now, Owiny is said to have crossed over to Kenya. I don't know which part of Kenya particularly they first settled, but it would probably appear, I mean the details, maybe you will get it as you continue interviewing them. But when they went there, this was round about 1500. What is important is that in 2020, for the first time after that separation, which is over 500 years ago, the Padola received a delegation from the people of Owiny as a reunion. It was as if, let's go back and find out what happened to our brothers who remained behind. Yeah. So they came and visited our Royal Highness, the Padola, and it was a very, very marvelous reunion after over 500 years. Yes.
I would love to meet Padola.
He can make arrangement for you and see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you mentioned about reunion. Now, what do you think about the LUO unity in East and Central Africa? Is it a pipe dream? Is it a possibility?
The good thing is, which is a very nice foundation, is that the blood of the LUO cannot be hidden. And the identity, the identifying with one another is already a positive thing. So bringing the LUOs together is definitely a possibility. And this type of exposure you are making probably can be a foundation for us to go towards that. The LUOs would want to discover themselves more and more. In fact, a few months ago when I heard that the LUOs are in Chad, I was very excited about that. And then when you read through the origin of the LUOs as being part of the Jews of the old Israel, maybe we can even say probably we are related to Jesus.
Yeah, I'm about to find out that because I'll go all the way to Chad.
That will be great.
I hope
yes.
I'll bring the good news.
That's right.
I finally find them.
Yeah.
So, have you ever been to Kenya? Have you visited the LUO of Kenya?
Oh, well, yes, I have been to Kenya. I stayed in Kenya for over 9 years. I was teaching in Moi Girls High School. You remember one of those then very high cost schools. There were, I think, 4 high cost schools in Kenya. I was in one of them, that Moi Girls, where President Moi himself was the chairman, board of governors. So I visited a lot of Nyanza, taking students there and undertaking a lot of schooling activities and so forth. So I know quite a bit of Nyanza.
Okay. Yeah. And the good news is that the LUO of Nyanza and LUO of Kenya and LUO of Tanzania speak the same dialect.
Same dialect.
Could you say hi to them in the LUO?
Oh, within Manadi, Juthurwan, Wapoyo, Mosgitich, Wingima, Penyi Juthurwan, Juluo.
And that's a challenge to the LUO of Kenya and Tanzania.
Yes.
It is your responsibility to try and come to TORORO.
Yes.
And learn the Padola dialect.
Correct.
The dialect of Padola and the dialect of the LUO, Kenya and Tanzania is very close.
Very similar.
Why do you think we have this very close relation in dialect as compared to Acholi and Lamo?
And that's another very good question. You know, the Acholi and the LUO, in history as they migrated into areas which were already occupied by the Bantu. And in the process, the interaction between the Bantu and the Acholis and the LUOs kind of ended up interfering with their dialects. So there was a lot of borrowing and so forth. Now, for the Padola, when they occupied the area of Torororo, they occupied a forested area intentionally. The reason was it was a security measure so as to protect themselves against the Bantu who were here, who were occupying here, and also against the Nandis. Actually, the Nandis were already here. We call them the Sewe, and those were we had the wars between the Padola and the Sewe for purposes of protection and territorial engagement, and also with the Banyole as the Bantu. So, because of occupying the forest, they kind of remained without that external influence. And that is why they kept on their language intact. And similar to what happened to the people who went with Owin. They also did not allow external influence so much into the cultural and the linguistic
influence. So I'll ask you a question that I don't intend to divide. This is just for the reasons of understanding.
Yeah.
We, the LUO of Eastern Central Africa, we speak slightly different dialects. Right?
Yeah.
But I believe there must be one dialect that was the original dialect. Which one do you think it is?
It's a bit difficult to tell. The reason being, as I said, there have been so many interruptions and influences from elsewhere. But I believe since you are planning to go to South Sudan, and since the LUOs of Uganda are said to have originated from South Sudan, I believe finally we may get the real. Hopefully, also they have also not been so meddled up with. So I believe it's from there. But one can safely say those that moved, and like if you say the brothers who moved and came beyond, and here I'm going to talk about the Padola and Owin, since they did a lot of preservation of their language, I believe most of the words they share out probably could be original words that came out from there. But of course, you can't do completely without interference, because colonialism came in, and with colonialism, so many things took place. So I think in your investigation, finally, I would even also love to get to know a few original words that have not changed and are being shared by a lot of ethnic LUO groups. I would be very grateful to hear that. After
everyone watching this, it is my responsibility to bring the truth to you. And subscribe to my channel, and you will get everything that you need to know about every single LUO group in every single country. We
are grateful for that.
Thank you. And do you know about the LUO existence in other countries? I already know you know about Kenya, but which other countries do have the LUOs?
Like I have been saying, I heard that we have some LUOs in Chad. We have some LUOs. In fact, I'm even hearing that part of Iraq has some bit of a ethnic grouping, which identifies itself with the LUO. I also hear of West African, Central African Republic, that there are LUOs there. Some people even indicate that the names of OO in Nigeria could be a relationship. Some LUO relationship blood there in Nigeria. So I believe what you are doing will bring out all this.
Yeah, I take the challenge to find out.
Yeah.
I will someday. You work in the cultural department in the whole of Uganda, I believe, right? But you are Padola. Do you have a cultural performance group in Padola, in Padola? I'll give you an instance. In the LUO of Kenya, there's a very famous group called Kochia Dancers. If even you go to YouTube or just Google and write Kochia Dancers, you'll find a well-formed group, and it has been through different generations. The people get old and the young ones take their positions. It's a cultural dance group that if we need a cultural performance from the LUO, let's say at the national level, we know where to go. Do you have such for Padola?
Yes, we do, but the case of Padola, we dance what is known as fumbo, which is the tube-like drumming, and tongoli, which is more like a harp. Now, literally everybody is expected to know how to dance this.
You know how to dance fumbo?
Oh, I do. Then literally everybody is expected to know how to dance this because it is a responsibility to participate in whatever occasion that takes place. However, and therefore it means because of that, what you would really call cultural groups came in as a later what? A later, call it what? Innovation, yeah.
Yeah, because
So we have a cultural team that, of course, usually at national level, they may want to invite a cultural group and we can't take everybody. So there is a cultural group that does that.
what's the name?
Adola Winikune. That man's contact, I would send it to you so that.
Yes, because
so
I
that,
would love to have that performance.
I will send the contact to him so that you can you can connect up with
Yes.
with him. So that is a collection of young people organized by elders, and indeed they move from literally from one age group to the next ever since they started.
Okay.
So that's the background of our cultural performances.
The Luo people of Kenya who are responsible for the cultural performances. Next time you're having a Ramogi night, next time you're having a Luo event, next time you're having a Luo festival, please ensure that you invite the cultural dancers from every single Luo group in whatever country. I think in terms of budget it will be workable if you're having 20 people or so.
Yeah.
To perform during the day, before we can have just LUO of Kenya performing in the night, to ensure that we see the cultural performance of every single LUO group in the world and to see the differences that we have so far. The name Tororo, because you are the dominant group here, I believe it could possibly have some relationship to Padola and the language.
Yes, yeah.
What does the word Tororo mean?
That's great. You look at that rock.
This one?
Yes.
I will show you guys later. Okay, I see it.
Now, before the environment was over interfered with, like now, with many trees cut off and so forth, that place used to have a lot of mist, particularly towards the end of the year. Now, in Padola, we call mist tor.
Tor. Is that the same as smoke or just
No,
mist?
mist out of dew or out of water vapor. So the mist which can cover a place and you don't see what is on the other side. Now, so we call that tor. Then, since it used to come at the end of the year, we call oro. Oro is year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. LUO of Kenya, I think it's season.
Maybe. Yeah. So we also use it as season.
Okay.
But we also use it year.
As a year.
So you can describe it as end of year, you can describe it beginning of year, and so forth. So because that mist used to exist towards the end of the year, and it was being used more like judging the end of that calendar year to the next. So they used to say, that is Tororo. It's an indication the year is coming to an end.
Tororo, that means the mist of the year.
The mist of the year has come. And it was good because it was meant for to tell you the period for preparing the gardens for this and preparing that, and you know.
Okay.
Now, of course, when the Muzungu came in, could not differentiate between a Tor and Oro.
They had no understanding.
They had no understanding of it.
exact
So,
words,
and since the rock was the symbolic feature here, so Tororo. So that place must be Tororo. So it was just a question of bringing Tor and Oro together to make Tororo.
Thank you. And I promise to keep it short, so I'll just take less than 3 minutes. Could you mention the LUO groups in South Sudan?
There is a
challenge.
It's a big challenge.
You want to help?
The
LUO groups in South Sudan?
I think I know only like Choli.
There is a Choli. There is a Nuek or Nuer.
Nuer.
Anuak.
Or a Nuer.
Nuak. But I believe I stopped. But there are many. Because there are
like 6.
Yeah.
There is Shiluk. There is Blandabor. There is Pari. There is Anyua. There is LUO with WO. Originally what they call Jurchol.
Yes.
But they don't like this name because it was a description by the Nuers and Dinkas. Jurchol means the black neighbor.
The black,
Chol is...
so
they don't want it, so now they call themselves LUO. And we also have their Choli.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And do you know any in Ethiopia?
To be honest, no.
No. It's a challenge for every single Luo watching this. Make sure you know every single group of Luo in whatever country, because most of the Luo of Kenya, we just think we are the only Luo, the beginning and the end. And we hardly knew about the existence of Luo people, let's say in Tororo.
That's right. You never knew.
Right.
So I think that would be very good if when you will document this, and probably it comes out in a printed form. It would be a good piece to read.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you say 999?
Oh, great.
In the Padola, how do you say 999?
Mia abongwen, gipiero abongwen, gabongwen, 999. Mia abongwen, Mia is in 100. Now, gipiero, abongwen, those are the tens. Gabongwen, those are the ones. So you have the 100, the tens, and the ones. For 900, for 90, for 9.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Which side, if you're looking inside the house, okay? If you're standing outside and looking straight into the house, which side is your bedroom? Right side or left-hand side?
Right side.
Right side.
Yeah.
And do you have a son?
Yes.
Has he built? Is he old enough to have his own house?
Yes.
On which side of Rangach? I think we call it Wankach.
Wankach, yes.
On which side of Wankach is his house?
His house is also on the right, ordinarily. But again, this has been interfered with quite a lot. You know, the so-called modernity. People now, you get a boy saying, no, this part of the land I don't want, I want the other side, you know, that type of thing.
So is it on the right when looking at Wankach or when looking at...
No, when looking at the house.
We're looking at house.
Because the house, the main house door faces the Wankach. So the Wankach is actually the gate.
Yes.
And the gate is normally directed towards the main house of the...
So if you're standing in front of the main house, looking straight out of Wankach or Rangach, looking at outside the homestay, is your son's house, the first son, on the right or on the left?
On the right.
On the right.
As you see the house. Yeah, as you see the house.
Yes, and also, okay. So if you turn and look at inside the house, then the house is now on the left.
On the left, yeah.
Okay, but your bedroom is on the right.
On the right, yeah.
Do you have a reason for that, no?
I think our ancestors must have, so we inherited it.
Because in Luo of Kenya, if I'm looking inside the house, the bedrooms are on the left. And the first son, if I look straight at Wankach or Rangach, the first son builds on the right. So that means the house of the first son is on the same side as the father's bedroom.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Any reason for that?
Because the son must be on the same side as the father.
As the father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're done. Could you
Yeah.
just tell me north, south, east, west? How you say that in Padola?
Now, your malo is north. Your pin is south. Your wokcheng is east. Wokcheng in the sense of what?
Sunrise.
Sunrise. And your podocheng is west.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay, we're done. Thank you so much.
Yes.
See you next time.
Okay.
But do it in Padola.
Yes. Afo swa jadwongi ogot mi towodho tene mapadola ihongo machiek me diwa wodho madit loka to paka wacho hongo chieki to kada mino we wakwaye go ni gimo tieko nwang'o ka gige mago nwang'e ka mopokre mago kidhie jule ketho indiko to mi wang'eyo ni kere wajo padola paka joluo wantie gi wade yukune kune wachong'e ni wantie gi wade Kenya be wantie gi wade gi Tanzania to fodi de waking'e ni ipoko no kire Ethiopia kwa kune wantie gi wade so jaduong' ogot gi wade jokidho mi wang'eyo gin wa force watekte
Erokamano.
were okurin were is nyasaye
Nyasaye.
aya
Asante sana. Thank you so much.
kaya wapoyo
Bye bye.
yeah.